Decking, railing, lighting, furniture, fencing, framing. At Trex, we make the most in outdoor living because you deserve to get more from your life outdoors. So why not start bringing your ideas to life now with the brand that's engineering what's next? To learn more about all of the outdoor solutions Trex has to offer, or to find a local retailer or a certified Trex Pro deck builder near you, visit Trex.com. That's Trex.com.
Golic and Wingo. We are ready. The Stugotz Army is here. They did bleeping etymology trivia today. That should never be aired. The Army is here and ready, General. Do we go to war with Golic and Wingo?
We got bumped on ESPN News today.
General, be careful.
For a re-air of Golic and Wingo. Listen, Army, let me think about this. I need a night. Pull back, horses! Pull back!
It's go time! We are going to take down Stugotz and Le Batard.
That is hilarious.
I am doing Le Batard when he gets angry and thinks about things. I'm now stealing a bit. He can be angry about this.
Yeah, I guess that's what we need to really find out about. And Stu will join us in a few minutes of what. I know there's beef with Stu and Cliff that we'll try and iron out, but I don't know what with the show. I mean, I don't get
nothing.
it.
I got nothing.
We'll find out.
Golic and Wingo.
Crying out loud!
Golic and Wingo on ESPN Radio and ESPN News, presented by Progressive Insurance. All phone guests will join us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. And this hour of Golic and Wingo is brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites. Book at LQ.com and win at business. By the way, there are massive shouts outside the studio. You want to explain what's going on?
What's going on? And we're posting it up on Golic and Wingo. In honor of the Masters starting today, we have a putting green out in the hallway, and everybody gets 10 shots. Mm-hmm. And we're going to basically, Allie's been posting up there of who's going to be leading. And Devin, Bubba Boy, had been leading going 8 out of 10.
Whoa. He had, we have a tie, Devin? What's going on?
Had been leading.
Allie just went 8 for 10 out there.
Get out of town.
So, Devin, you were leading at 8 for 10.
Yeah.
Allie just went, how many more people are set to go?
Dan and Brett.
So 2 more people need to go. What did you get?
I went 7 of 10.
I went 5 of 10.
Yeah. Cliff went 1 of 10. But to be fair to Cliff, and I want to be fair to Cliff, because this is happening to Cliff.
Cliff, for crying out loud!
I want to be fair to Cliff. Cliff is like the Princess Bride.
Yeah.
I am left-handed.
He's left-handed.
And we didn't have a left-handed putter.
Right-handed putter. So he was 1 of 10.
The fact that he got 1?
Yeah.
Is amazing. I can't do anything left-handed.
I was horrible at 5. You went 7. So Devin and Allie are both leading 8 out of 10.
Well,
we still have Brett and Stanzik to go. So we'll see. Listen, you gotta have some fun. You can't tell me in offices or your workplaces around the country there's not some putty greens going on.
Of course there is.
Masters are starting today. Come on. If you're not, then you're missing out.
In fact, when Stu gets to go on his rant, I may actually leave and go make some putts just so we can keep going.
There
for
you
a
go.
while.
Don't blame you one
There
bit.
you go. Let's start with what's trending. And you know who's really trending in the right direction? That would be Shohei Ohtani.
Yes.
Second home run in his second home game, this time off the reigning Cy Young winner Corey Kluber. So he's had 2 home runs in his first 2 home games. He won his first start. And, oh, by the way, in his first ever Major League at bat, he got a hit. As good as advertised so far, Mike.
Yeah, it really has. Again, he joins that list that actually doesn't yesterday. We had him on 2 lists that included just he and Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
No more. Now it's Bronson Arroyo.
Same thing.
As far as
Babe
the 2
Ruth,
home
Bronson
runs
Arroyo,
in the win.
same thing.
And 06, Don Newcomb in 1955 and Hal Schumacher in 1934. No Babe on that list. And again, I'm going to give the clap for Zach Cozart, who hit the walk-off home run in the 13th inning to actually win the game.
Golf clap.
So, Ohtani, congratulations. You got another star coming Sunday. It's a great story.
Yes, it is.
Don't get me wrong, but we got to give Zach a little bit of love as well.
Did, but you know how Zach was able to do that? Because Shohei Ohtani showed him the way.
I want you to Shohei the way.
We're doing that, huh?
Well, actually, we did it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're doing it again.
So this is
we did it.
This is our Shohei Ohtani sounder when he's doing something well. It is.
I want you to Shohei the way.
Peter Frampton, 1978.
When I said one of the great things about how this show, this new incarnation, Golic and Wingo, was going to be back to a lot of radio
Just not that
on
one?
TV.
Just not that one?
You know what? You can't say I lie. That's exactly what we're doing.
Listen, it's like Herm. We're laying it all out there for you.
We're honest.
We're going to tell you what the parameters are.
We got the town crier we had yesterday. We got the Shohei the Way or whatever the heck that was.
Shohei the Way.
Shohei
Peter
the Way.
Frampton.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of showing us the way,
Mm-hmm.
it's that time. It's that time to delve.
All right.
Is he there? Is he on camera or is he just is he hiding behind a microphone?
I am not on camera today. There's no need for a TV crew here because they keep running re-airs of your show instead of ours.
It's not our call.
Oh, wow. They finally smartened up.
Okay, so hold on. Before we go down that rabbit hole, we need to go down the rabbit hole that apparently we are being sucked into. Yeah. So Stugotz from the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is here, and apparently somebody on your show is angry at us for something.
Well, no, the Stugotz Army, listen, I can't control them, okay? They go, like their leader, they go in any direction they want to go. They won't be led. They don't understand, instructions. And so I can't control this army, what they're upset about, guys. And listen, I've tried to merge these shows and they know how great Golic's been to me. And Trey, I said yesterday, I'm not certain I want to wage war with this particular show because I'm starting to like Trey Wingo a bit. We got a lot in common.
Oh, joy.
No, we do. Listen, we got a lot in common, you and I.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, we love golf, we love the NFL draft, and we love money.
Yes.
I mean, we got a lot in common.
That is the tri-spear bond that bring people together right there. That's the triumvirate.
So what's the issue?
What is the deal?
I think they're upset because they have grown to like watching the simulcast of our show. They like watching it on TV, and they're upset that we've been bumped 2 consecutive days here for re-airs of Golic and Wingo.
That's not it.
I think that's the root of
everything.
Right. Trey, I'm telling you, I think that's the root of everything.
All right.
I really do.
First off, then you're right. Your army, has some issues because
I agree.
We have no control over that. So I'd rather there be a battle over something that we supposedly did, and supposedly we stole some of your guys' material. Is that another thing they're mad about?
Maybe there's that. Listen, okay, they're very petty. Okay, all of them. Okay, just like me. They are petty. So it could be that. It could be being bumped for, re-airs of Golic and Wingo on ESPN News, stolen material. Yeah, stuff like that. I love what you guys are doing, though. Like, take big hacks, man. Take big hacks.
Can I ask now, are your hamstrings getting tight at all from this backpedaling that you're all of a sudden doing?
No, not at all. And Mike, listen, I gotta be honest, a lot of people are upset that you have refused to deliver and pay off your bet with Le Batard and give me a massage. I mean, it starts there.
I'm with you 100% there. He absolutely has
to do
this.
And by the way, you and your wife are going to get a nice stay at the spa.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yes.
So now what about, we heard it was about word origins, like all of a sudden,
etymology.
Dan wants to always ask at times about the origin of a word, like that was invented there. So if we tried to do something like Bretomology.
I ain't gonna say it.
That all of a sudden we're like the bad guys stealing material because you did something that nobody else has done on radio.
Yeah, it's ours. Much like LeBron James, who owns, he is the owner of all barbershop conversations. We own that thing, man. So leave it alone. Listen, there's copyright stuff there. We're very upset. Pay me some royalties.
That's what I said. We are, the Golic and Wingo is Nick Saban, and you guys are LeBron. So what about this feud, this thing going on with Cliff, our board op, who we have to back our guy? What's going on there?
Cliff, we're crying out loud! Again, trying to merge these shows, okay, and bring people from your show onto our show. And so I stole one of Cliff's takes about Jay Wright going to the Sixers.
I heard that.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. And because I thought it was a good take. I think it's a smart and I think it's a good take and it's based on no facts. And that's that's how I like to roll. And so I figured Cliff may be a soldier here in the Stugotz Army. And so I decided to give him a big chance to come on our show and, deliver a funny line or two, and Cliff totally blew it. I went to bat for Cliff, tried to give Cliff a voice, and then we brought him on the show, trying to make him a star, and he blows it, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
That's not on me. That's on Cliff.
That's your side of this story. Cliff, would you like to give equal time here? What's your side of the story?
First of all, I'll never be part of Stugotz Army. I'm my own man. I don't do that.
All right.
Well, your Jay Wright take was awful then.
You stole my high take then.
Okay, what's the issue, Cliff? He says
Cliff,
you came
hold on, Mike, that is a badge of honor, Cliff. Wear it as such, okay? If I steal your take, man, that's like, wear that as a badge of honor, man.
Okay.
I steal Golic's takes all the time. He doesn't care.
All right, so Stu is saying you came on their show and you absolutely blew it. What is the reason?
I didn't blow it. I got set up by Mikey C and by Stugotz. I think it was an inside job. I was bamboozled, yes.
Listen, I want to tell you something, Cliff. If you think I'm pulling any of the strings on this show, you're out of your mind, okay?
He's pulling all the strings, Cliff.
All right.
I hear Le Batard in the background just baiting everything going back and forth.
Hey, Stugotz, one thing I have to ask, if there ever got, and listen, I'm with you. Now we're on the same TV station as well. We try and have some fun with these two shows. If there ever was a all-out battle between these two shows, what position would my son take, who is now part of this show for at least an hour every day. He's hosted a Le Batard show when Dan hasn't been there. You and him did weekend observations for a long time. You're going to do a podcast as well.
Is that over? Weekend observations is no more?
It's going to go to a podcast.
Okay,
Yep.
I told Mike if there was a battle, he had to take your Stugotz Army shirt and burn it on air.
Oh, man. You know what? Let me do this, guys, because I have the entire shipping container right here. Let me ask them, guys. We know Mike Golic Jr. pretty well. Mike Ryan, I'll start with you. Mike Golic Jr., is he taking his dad's side? Is he going with Golic and Wingo, or is he going with us? I think he's going with us.
Oh, he's going with us. All day.
By the way,
All day, every day.
by the way,
That's Roy saying all day, every day.
can I just tell you something, Stugotz?
Yeah.
You have a turncoat in your organization.
Uh-oh.
I want to tell you that right now because I have inside information from someone on your staff who texts me about what really went on with Cliff.
And she's on my side.
And that person.
Oh, no!
You just gave it away.
I wonder who it could be.
Cliff, you're an idiot. Okay? You're an idiot. And now I'm on Stugotz's side.
I was trying to tell you about Cliff, Trey. I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, just so you know, when we give away spies, we stay neutral.
Yeah.
Right.
It's they, it, said person.
Not her.
You are just.
There's one her on that
awful.
show, and
Listen,
it's Allison.
You're awful.
Trey,
You're
I'm not a
awful.
journalist.
You're
You're the closest thing we have to a journalist, Trey, on either of the. Well, Dan is, I guess, or he used to be. But Trey, he just gave up his source. That's what he did. He revealed his source.
You're terrible.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
We should
let me explain how this works.
Yeah.
Can't believe Fat Chris did that.
Let me explain how anonymity works. Okay, you don't want to give anything away so that person will be discovered, especially when we're getting the inside information.
Yeah,
you don't do that.
We're going to have to work on that. We're talking to Stugotz at the Dan Le Batard show about the possible beef, a couple of different with the shows. We'll get everything ironed out. One thing I think, Stu, we can all agree on is we all love the Masters. I think you and Trey a little more than everybody else. But how about yesterday with the hole-in-one, the joyous one by a 15-year-old and the other by a golfer who then dislocates his ankle?
Yeah, I can't. I mean, and the way he put that thing right back in with no hesitation. I mean,
that was freaky, man.
It was.
Weird, crazy. And Mike, I heard you talk. He happens to be a very good athlete. Like, he's a great basketball player, was a great soccer player, and obviously a really good golfer. So
not so good at the running, though.
Not so good at that. No, not good. Not so good at sticking the landing thing, Trey. I think he was running fine, and then he jumped a little bit and tried to turn around, and he didn't stick the landing very well. Listen, it's such an exciting day. And yesterday, Trey, that's why we love this tournament, right? I mean, we love Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, of course, but all the small little events leading up to it. Tiger and Phil and their practice round. Then yesterday with Jack's grandson, his only swing of the day, his first hole-in-one, and Jack saying, that was a better moment than any of the 6 green jackets that he won. It's the best moment he's ever had at Augusta. Trey, that's why we love this thing.
It's amazing. Stugotz, let me ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being at whatever and 10 being full Rinaldi weeping, where were you when you saw it? Where were you on that scale, on the weepometer, I guess, the sobometer, when you saw that hole-in-one go in?
I mean, goosebumps for sure.
Yeah.
No, it was like straight to 10, like 10. That was it. That's
awesome.
about as good a moment. Do you believe Jack though? Do you believe him when he says that? I guess because in the moment he's saying that's the greatest moment I've ever had. And I will tell you, watching my kids, play sports is far more rewarding than when I was actually playing myself. So maybe he is. Do you believe that, Trey, that moment was better than winning a 6 green jacket?
Well, I think at this point, absolutely. I mean, look, the day my son played in his first college football game and had the block that let the guy in for the touchdown on his first drive, I was a mess.
Well, listen, I get asked all the time,
yeah.
you know, when you play, did you get more joy out of playing?
See, we don't have that side of it.
I know, your kids play.
Stugotz only have one side of it.
It's easy. It's watching your kids play, and then you get down to the grandkids. Again, Jack has 22 grandkids. He tried to get them over the years, all involved in the par 3. GT gets the hole-in-one. The 15-year-old, his sister Nina, is there caddying as well. It was an incredible moment, and that's what we're hoping for out of this tournament, Stugotz. So we're asking everybody as well, Sunday, to you, what's the dream final 2 pairings that you hope happens?
Oh, the final 2 pairings. Wow. It's interesting, guys, because, you know, the way I experience and watch the Masters, and Trey, I do wonder, and I'll answer your question in just a second, if you do it this way, is you just let the first round kind of play out and see where everyone's positioned. Yeah. And then I've tried to explain to Dan, because Dan's not a huge golf fan, although he'll be intrigued this weekend because Tiger's coming back. I've tried to tell Dan and explain to Dan that even if your favorite golfer, let's say, you know, for me, it's Phil Mickelson. If Mickelson is pulling, I want Mickelson to win. I'm telling you that on the front end. But if he gets too far ahead of the field, Trey, on Friday or Saturday, you're actually rooting for your favorite golfer, to put up a bogey or a double bogey to bring
exactly
himself
right.
back closer to the field so you have an exciting Sunday, right?
Give me the drama. I want the drama.
Right.
That's what I want to see. But it's weird. But that's why Tiger is so different, because when he bludgeoned the field in 1997, I was all in on every single stroke. When he did the same thing at the U.S. Open, when he was 12 under and second place was 3 over, It was still riveting. But anybody else, it just doesn't work that way. You're exactly right. I want to see, again, we've talked about this before, I want to see 2 young guys in the final group, and I want to see Tiger and Phil in the second to last group and have this generational war going on in the back 9 Sunday at Augusta. That's my dream scenario.
Yeah, it'd be great. So I'm going to, man, how can you not be rooting for Tiger and Phil? That would be... All right, so I'll just choose 4 golfers here. I'll go Tiger and Phil, I guess, in that final pairing. And then I'll go 2 of the young guys, just like Trey. I'll go Dustin Johnson and Jordan Spieth. We forget that a year ago, right at this time, Dustin Johnson was an overwhelming favorite to win the Masters, and I happen to think he's going to be the guy that wins it again this year.
Oh, you do? I was just going to say, he's the one of the top
No one's
players.
talking about him.
No one is talking about him.
Yeah, and Trey, if you look at the stats, you look at his stats, I can't remember the exact stat, but he is top 5 in 5 of the most important categories on tour. And any guy who's done that headed into the Masters has actually won the Masters. There's only been like 3 or 4 guys who have done it, and they've ended up winning the green jacket. So we'll see. We'll see. But listen, when your worst case scenario, this is the beauty of this particular tournament this year. Like your worst case scenario final pairing might be like a Jason Day and a Bubba Watson.
Yeah, and that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Stugotz, is how do you deal with it with your wife? I know she likes you to do errands and chores and all that kind of thing. How do you get around that this weekend?
This is my weekend, Mike.
And she understands that.
She totally understands it. We, Trey, I feel bad for you guys. I heard you talking about wanting to play golf. And Mike, by the way, listen, you can go to the range all weekend if you want. It's not going to improve your game on Monday.
Whoa.
No, Mike, I say that lovingly because I tell my dad all the time. My dad used to be a very good golfer. My dad's like 75, 76. He doesn't play nearly as much. And he'll come out, after not playing for 2 or 3 months, he'll come out with me and he'll hit a bad shot and start throwing clubs and stuff. He got a bad temper. And I'm like, Dad, you got to play this game every single day to get good at it. Am I wrong, Trey?
No, you're exactly right. I hate people that go out there and Golic doesn't take it seriously, which is great.
No, I don't care.
But people that go out there and play like once every 3 months and are ticked off when they don't hit the. I'm like, dude, put in a little effort. Let's do the work. That's how you get the reward.
That's my point. I'm like, Dad, you can't get upset at yourself. You haven't picked up a club in 3 months.
No, I just pop another beer. That's all.
There you go. So Mike, to answer your question, yes, the wife, she knows I love this week, and she actually loves watching Saturday and Sunday as well. So we are off tomorrow. The show is off tomorrow. And listen, I apologize.
This is a win for you, okay? You're off tomorrow.
I blame this.
And the show is off tomorrow completely?
Wait, you blame us for bumping you on re-airs, but you're off tomorrow?
Listen, the show is off tomorrow.
That's such a win. That's such a win.
Trey, aren't you off tomorrow?
But I got to do something else. So
that's true.
The show isn't off.
What are you going to do? Watch the Masters? What are you going to do?
It's a long story. It's a long,
all right,
convoluted story.
Let me end with this. I love how you guys do the lookalikes on your show.
Yeah.
Who somebody looks like, I love the explanations of those. So Tucker tweeted in of somebody you look like, and it's very good.
All right.
Stugotz looks like the evil, money-hungry villain in a Disney movie that gets outsmarted and caught by a team of kid detectives.
Well, it certainly sounds the part.
That's very good, though.
By the way, that just sounds like every episode of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I would have gotten away for it if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Oh, my God, did you just hate yourself?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's what we do.
Listen, there's no getting around that one, but the best part is you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Of course I did, yes. My laughter dated myself, yes.
Dated himself all through high school.
But again, I want to make sure I get to the bottom of this whole thing. Yeah. Is it more about the fact that for reasons beyond our control that we have nothing to do with, our show has been on and yours hasn't, or is it because Dan believes he invented the origin of words discussion?
I think it's a combination of all those things, and I just happen to have an army who's just looking to fight at all times, and it's been a minute since I fought, and so they're looking, it's like Dan Patrick wasn't enough, and Rich Eisen wasn't enough, and Michael Wilbon wasn't enough. They wanted to fight, and I guess you guys are next, but that's up to me. So I'll get back to you on this. I love you guys. I'm telling you right now, I don't want to have a fight. I want to be cohesive with your show, but Cliff is making that problematic.
Cliff, for crying out loud!
That may be one of the best ones of all time. It's right up there with
hello.
And
you play to win the game.
Cliff, for crying out loud!
It all makes sense.
Fantastic.
It all makes perfect sense.
All right, Stu, enjoy the weekend, man.
All right, guys, Trey, enjoy the Masters, man.
Enjoy your off day.
I will, Trey. I'll be playing golf while watching it on my iPad. Have a good day.
We're getting 3 to 6 inches of snow Saturday, so good for you.
They're mad at us for bumping them our ears, and they're off tomorrow.
So that makes more sense than the whole Le Batard invented the study of the origin of words.
Yeah. Hey everyone, Mike Golic here. Support for the Golic Wingo podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Chances are you're confident when it comes to your work, your hobbies, your life. Rocket Mortgage gives you that same level of confidence when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. With Rocket Mortgage, you can apply simply and understand fully so you can mortgage confidently. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Mikes. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
Every deck is made for standing on, but there's only one that's always had a way of standing out. So if you're looking to bring more style, comfort, and creativity to your life outdoors, call on the brand that's known for making the most in outdoor living. From decking, railing, and lighting to furniture, fencing, and framing, at Trex, we're engineering what's next in outdoor living. To learn more about all of the outdoor solutions Trex has to offer, call 1-800-289-TREX or visit Trex.com. That's TREX.com.
What do you think is a realistic expectation for RG3 now that he's back in the league with the Ravens?
Wow. Make the team?
Take all the time you need.
Make the team? I'm literally going the floor. I'm just starting at the floor level. Just make the team. You know, we've seen the injuries, we've seen everything that's happened throughout his career. I just want to see him make the team and just stay behind the scenes. You know, no ridiculous statements or motivational quotes, all that. Just stay behind the scenes, get better at your craft. For me, that's a realistic expectation.
You know, the saying that is said, and Trey said it earlier, life can come at you fast. You know, the Heisman Trophy winner to Rookie of the Year to, the Twitter guy to then you get hurt and then you have the whole with your shoe deal kind of the comeback thing. And now you're at a point, a lot of it is how you accept that. You know, he sat in here with us and was going around talking to a lot of people saying, all I want is a chance, and I'd like to get a chance before OTAs. Well, he got that. Right. You know, and sometimes in life, it doesn't go your way and you're just looking for another chance. So I'm with you. You know, hopefully you don't hear a lot from him. Stay behind the scenes, put your nose in the book. And I know he's been working to try and get back into the league, and he has a chance. And most times, if you're a quarterback, I guess unless you're Colin Kaepernick, right, you're going to get a chance somewhere, maybe longer than you should. And he's getting that chance, so let's see what he can do with it.
And then there's the other Heisman Trophy winner from the Central Texas area. That would be Johnny Manziel, trying to get his life back in order. And this is what he said on the Dan Patrick Show, talking about his experience with Cleveland. Quote, if Cleveland did any of their homework, they would have known I wasn't a guy who came in every day to watch film. I wasn't a guy who really knew the X's and O's of football. And a lot of people, including Mike, are all over Johnny for saying that. And I get it, and I want to be clear about this. If you're trying to get back into the league, probably not the greatest way to phrase it, but what did he say that was wrong? I mean, in terms of factual information.
Nothing. Yeah. I think, listen, just being part of the media, one thing we always talk about with athletes is we want athletes to be honest.
Be honest,
Be
right?
open and honest.
He was honest.
And he was honest. Now, as a former player, that was just dumb.
Sometimes you don't need to be honest.
You just, when you're in a position that Johnny Manziel is in, your whole mission is to minimize risk, minimize damage. And what he did was he just opened Pandora's box again. You don't need to be out there telling people, I didn't care about studying film and all this other stuff. Like, dude, all you're doing is just opening old wounds again. Your whole thing should be to try to get back in the good graces, keep working, keep, having these performances like at Texas A&M Pro Day, and just staying clean. Keeping your nose clean, doing this and telling people, basically, I just didn't give a damn when I was a player. That's not going to help your case.
Look, I'll say this again, And I understand what you guys are saying, and he should not have said this in the way he said it because it's going to help him get a second chance. But I don't think he's killing the Browns as much as he's killing himself here. I really think he's saying, look, I didn't do any of that. But I didn't do any of it.
But, Trey, he's still, the way he said it was wrong. The truth doesn't always set you free. It doesn't.
Whoa.
Listen.
Holy, how deep did you just get?
And it doesn't mean he had to lie. All he had to do was just say, hey, everything that happened is on me.
Yes.
I need to get better at everything I'm doing, and that's what I'm trying to do.
I think he's trying to say that he just messed it up.
Well, and that's our only point, is the way he said it was horribly wrong. Which, again, I mean, is we were supposed to have him on today, and he's not on. And that doesn't surprise me. I'm not ripping him for it. I'm sure his people said, okay, man, no more. We're going to just go let you play in the spring league. That's all you can do right now. So no more talking. And that's probably a good thing because I believe he thought he was saying something correct, but the way it came out just did not come out well. And then reiterating the fact that you, as you just said, didn't give a damn. Man, that's just not something you want to leave in anybody's head.
Yeah, listen, when you're making a case for yourself and you're trying to be contrite, first thing you need to do is just point the finger at yourself.
Use your thumb.
As Teddy said, don't point the finger, pull the thumb.
Right. I think that's where he messed up in his statement. The first thing that should have came out of his mouth was like, look, I screwed this up big time. This is on me. And if you want to add some context to that, with Cleveland, okay, that's fine. But to just go out and just say, oh, Cleveland toxic and this and that, dude, you're not ingratiating yourself with NFL people by just throwing the organization under the bus. That's just not the way to go about it.
I understand that, but at the end of the day, he's 100% right and explains much of what's going on with Cleveland.
Right, and I'm not saying what he said was necessarily wrong. I'm just saying the way he went about it, the way he worded it, wasn't in his best interest.
Well, I agree. One of the things I feel bad about this is because I think he was trying to say something and it just came out the wrong way.
Right.
And we're all pouncing on it if you read the entire thing, he said, I wasn't the guy who really knew the X's and O's in football. He was putting it on himself. He just put in that qualifier with Cleveland that people are jumping on. Look, it's Cleveland went 1-31 the last 2 years for a reason. That's the bottom line.
Absolutely.
Damien, you're the best.
Thanks, Damien.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
you, big man. Coming up, we'll go live to Augusta. The Masters is underway. Winning at sports and at sports broadcasting means changing things up.
Just like La Quinta Inns and Suites is changing up their look.
A renovated lobby that's so contemporary it even makes Golic look cool.
Yes, it does. And a totally updated fitness center that even has Wingo feeling like a workout.
I'm ripped. Plus plenty of comfortable spaces to hang out.
Yep, this La Quinta look definitely has a vibe of victory.
So you can just relax, refresh, and get ready for your next big meeting.
Prepare to win at business with La Quinta Inns and Suites.
Book now at LQ.com. What do you think is a realistic expectation for RG3 now that he's back in the league with the Ravens?
Wow. Make the team?
Take all the time you need.
Make the team? I'm literally going the floor. I'm just starting at the floor level. Just make the team. We've seen the injuries. We've seen everything that's happened throughout his career. I just want to see him make the team and just stay behind the scenes. No ridiculous statements or motivational quotes, all that. Just stay behind the scenes, get better at your craft. For me, that's a realistic expectation.
The saying that is said, and Trey said it earlier, life can come at you fast. The Heisman Trophy winner to Rookie of the Year to the Twitter guy to then you get hurt and then you have the whole with your shoe deal kind of the comeback thing. And now you're at a point, a lot of it is how you accept that. He sat in here with us and was going around talking to a lot of people saying, all I want is a chance, and I'd like to get a chance before OTAs. Well, he got that.
Right.
And sometimes in life, it doesn't go your way, and you're just looking for another chance. So I'm with you. Hopefully you don't hear a lot from him. Stay behind the scenes, put your nose in the book, and I know he's been working to try and get back into the league. And he has a chance. And most times, if you're a quarterback, I guess unless you're Colin Kaepernick, You're going to get a chance somewhere, maybe longer than you should. And he's getting that chance, so let's see what he can do with it.
And then there's the other Heisman Trophy winner from the Central Texas area. That would be Johnny Manziel, trying to get his life back in order. And this is what he said on the Dan Patrick Show, talking about his experience with Cleveland. Quote, if Cleveland did any of their homework, they would have known I wasn't a guy who came in every day to watch film. I wasn't a guy who really knew the X's and O's of football. And a lot of people, including Mike, are all over Johnny for saying that. And I get it, and I want to be clear about this. If you're trying to get back into the league, probably not the greatest way to phrase it, but what did he say that was wrong? I mean, in terms of factual information.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I think, listen, just being part of the media, one thing we always talk about with athletes is we want athletes to be honest.
Be honest.
Be
right?
open and honest.
He was honest.
And he was honest. Now, as a former player, that was just dumb.
Sometimes you don't need to be honest.
You just when you're in a position that Johnny Manziel is in, your whole mission is to minimize risk, minimize damage. And what he did was he just opened Pandora's box again. You don't need to be out there telling people, I didn't care about studying film and all this other stuff. Like, dude, all you're doing is just opening old wounds again. Your whole thing should be to try to get back into good graces, keep working, keep, having these performances like at Texas A&M Pro Day, and just staying clean, keeping your nose clean. Doing this and telling people, basically, I just didn't give a damn when I was a player. That's not going to help your case.
Look, I'll say this again, and I understand what you guys are saying, and he should not have said this in the way he said it because it's going to help him get a second chance. But I don't think he's killing the Browns as much as he's killing himself here. I really think he's saying, look, I didn't do any of that. But I didn't do any of it.
But Trey, he's still, the way he said it was wrong. The truth doesn't always set you free. It doesn't.
Whoa.
Listen.
Holy, how deep did you just get?
And it doesn't mean he had to lie. All he had to do was just say, hey, everything that happened is on me.
Yes.
I need to get better at everything I'm doing, and that's what I'm trying to do.
I think he's trying to say that he just messed it up.
Well, and that's our only point, is the way he said it was horribly wrong. Which, again, I mean, is we were supposed to have him on today, and he's not on. And that doesn't surprise me. I'm not ripping him for it. I'm sure as people said, okay, man, no more. We're going to just go let you play in the spring league. That's all you can do right now. So no more talking. And that's probably a good thing because I believe he thought he was saying something correct, but the way it came out just did not come out well. And then reiterating the fact that you, as you just said, didn't give a damn. Man, that's just not something you want to leave in anybody's head.
Yeah, listen, when you're making a case for yourself and you're trying to be contrite, first thing you need to do is just point the finger at yourself.
Use your thumb.
As Teddy said, don't point the finger, pull the thumb.
Right. I think that's where he messed up in his statement. The first thing that should have came out of his mouth was like, look, I screwed this up big time. This is on me. And if you want to add some context to that, with Cleveland, okay, that's fine. But to just go out and just say, Cleveland toxic and this and that, dude, you're not ingratiating yourself with NFL people by just throwing the organization under the bus. That's just not the way to go about it.
I understand that, but at the end of the day, he's 100% right and explains so much of what's going on with Cleveland.
Right, and I'm not saying what he said was necessarily wrong. I'm just saying the way he went about it, the way he worded it, wasn't in his best interest.
I agree. One of the things I feel bad about this is because I think he was trying to say something and it just came out the wrong way.
Right.
And we're all pouncing on it if you read the entire thing, he said, I wasn't the guy who really knew the X's and O's in football. He was putting it on himself. He just put in that qualifier with Cleveland that people are jumping on. Look, it's Cleveland went 1-31 the last 2 years for a reason. That's a bottom
absolutely.
line. Damien, you're the best.
Thanks, Damien.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
you, big man. Coming up, we'll go live to Augusta. The Masters is underway.
Ryan! I don't know how else to say this, so I'll just say it.
What is it, Linda?
I think we should see other people.
Are you breaking up with me? On a roller coaster?
Well, we do have a lot of fun. Maybe we should stay together.
An emotional roller coaster? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
I just need a little me time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15%.
Decking, railing, lighting, furniture, fencing, framing. At Trex, we make the most in outdoor living because you deserve to get more from your life outdoors. So why not start bringing your ideas to life now with the brand that's engineering what's next? To learn more about all of the outdoor solutions Trex has to offer, or to find a local retailer or a certified Trex Pro deck builder near you, visit Trex.com. That's Trex.com.
Oh, just kidding. It's 112-106. I have no idea what that was.
I don't either.
What was that? Meanwhile, the fourth meeting of the season between former teammates Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Nice try. Brought out strong performances for each of the Warriors. Good start for Shohei Ohtani, right? A little bit of everything. Seriously, what was that?
That was awful. Whatever.
Stanzik, you want to stop giggling for a minute?
That was Allie saying it's in the hole.
Okay. That was Allie?
Stanzik.
Yeah. Sweet Moses.
In the hole.
Thank you.
There
That
you
was
go.
better.
Much better.
And we finish up with the Masters Par 3 contest. Starts today at 3 o'clock. You know, they say if you reach one person, it's worth it. Mm-hmm. We both like that, so I think we mission accomplished. Golic and Wingo on ESPN Radio and ESPN News. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. All phone guests will join us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, and some are kind enough to join us looking into the magical lens of the camera. And for that, we go down to Augusta, Georgia, the Masters.
Are you always getting this voice?
I'm
Just
very
stop
happy.
It. Stop Tom Rinaldi.
I'm happy. Well, hold on. Then I'd be making you cry if that happens.
That's true.
But let's move on. Let's move on. And my good friend Andy North joins us from Augusta. Andy, good morning. First of all, before we get into today, you were part of that par 3 call on GT yesterday, Nicholas. That had to be so epically cool to watch in person.
Well, it was, I've known GT since he's a little guy, and he's really worked himself into being a nice player. I mean, this kid's going to be a really good player, and happened to have dinner with him Tuesday night, and he was all excited about going out there and caddying for his grandfather, but to get a chance to hit a shot and then do what he did was absolutely amazing. I can't imagine if that's the Wednesday of this week, what the rest of the week is going to end up being. It's going to be absolutely electric. And talking to Jack afterwards, he said that that GT and Gary, his dad, sat around and talked about, GT, do you want to hit this shot on Friday? And he says, on the 9th hole, he says, oh, absolutely I do. And they started talking about, wouldn't that be cool if I made a hole-in-one, that kind of thing. But is that unbelievable? I mean, they actually talked about it and then he did it. That's pretty cool.
It is incredible. Let's talk for a second about the other hole-in-one and how it affects this guy's tournament. Tony Finau, an actual golfer out there, who had the high of the hole-in-one and then the low of celebrating running down the fairway and dislocating his ankle, popping it back in. He's going to have an MRI, supposed to tee off after noon at this point, like 12:42. What is his status, if you know?
Well, he did have the MRI, and it looked pretty good, and so he's going to go ahead and play. Obviously he'll be taped up really tight. The way he reacted, it surely looked like to me that this has happened before to him. But having done some of those kind of things, I can't imagine there's not some ligament damage or something in there. But that was amazing to watch, and how calmly he reacted to it. Was amazing. But he's going to go out there and give it a whirl today. And, hitting the shots, trying to finish on your left foot, that's not the easy thing to do. And then walking this golf course is really tough. There's so many hills. So we'll see if he can get it done. It's first year here. It'd be a shame if he couldn't play.
Two-time U.S. Open champion Andy North with us as we're previewing the 2018 Masters. Yeah, the weirdest thing about Finau is he's like, I'll pop it back in, no problem.
Well, to Andy's point, I bet it has happened before, kind of subluxing, they call it, where it pops out, and the easier you can pop it back in, probably been happening.
Yeah, that was crazy. So now let's go on to one of the things that obviously is going to drive the eyeballs of this tournament. He does it whenever he plays, hasn't been here since 2015. That would be Tiger Woods. As you're watching his first round, which is teeing off in about an hour and 40 minutes from now, what do you want to see from him on this golf course that you haven't seen in any of the run-up tournaments yet?
Well, I think the biggest thing for Tiger is that he has to get off to a good start today. If all his Thursday's rounds here in the history at Augusta, he's only shot in the 60s one time. So if he shoots 70 or 71, I don't think it's time to panic. But I think he needs to get off to a good start. With all these players that are coming here playing so well, all these top guys that we've talked about all week long, 2 or 3 of them are going to play well. So you can't get 6 or 7 shots behind after the first day. So I think it's going to be important for him to get off to a nice start. He has struggles driving the ball in the first fairway. I think to start right out, can he put it in the first fairway? If he does that, maybe that's a good sign.
With the weather the way it is and going to be, what type of golfer is it going to favor for today and through this tournament?
Well, all these guys deal with this stuff all the time, Mike. The first 2 days look like it's going to be pretty nice. Saturday is supposed to be miserable, rain all day, and then Sunday is going to be cold and windy. So, guys have to deal with all these different varying conditions every single week. It's going to come down to that group of guys. We may have an outlier, but I can't imagine that you won't have the winner out of the 10 or 12 players that we've been talking about all week long. They're all playing great. They all come in here with a lot of confidence. And the fact that the young group has not seen Tiger and Phil play like this for a while, that's going to be exciting. If we could get those guys in the mix, we could have an unbelievable Sunday.
Andy North with us from Augusta as we're talking about the Masters, which is underway, round one. Of course, we'll have it later on today, ESPN 3 o'clock. And the first hour you can get on our ESPN or the Masters YouTube channel as well. Andy, to your point, when you talk about all these Rory McIlroy and Ricky Fowler and Jordan and Justin, now Tiger and Phil, we had Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus on earlier this week, and they both sort of said the same thing that you're talking about. This may be, because of how many players that are playing so well right now, this may be one of the Masters' most exciting 4 days we've seen in a long, long time. Do you think, because we're all hyping it up, do you think it can live up to the billing?
Well, it's set up that way.
Yeah.
What happens, you've been around enough golf that it's ridiculous. Whatever you think's going to happen usually doesn't.
Right.
Typically watching what happened yesterday, a 68-year-old win the par 3 and a 78-year-old finish in third. I mean, with his grandkid knocking in an ace on the ninth hole. So anything can happen out here. But I really do think that this is, to me, has the most excitement of any Masters going back to maybe 10 or 12 years ago when we had that stretch where Phil and Tiger and Ernie and Retief and VJ were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the world. And they all came in here with wins a couple of years, that looked like it would be amazing. But, you never know. Mike Weir jumps in and wins or you can't tell. But the conditions are going to be really good the first 2 days. And I think where the weekend might go, it's going to be important to get yourself in the mix after 36 holes. You don't want to be trying to make up shots, I think, on the weekend.
So take us on the course inside the ropes where we can't go. And if you start to play this tournament,
that's like 30 feet. We can get out there. We can get out there, Michael.
I guarantee I'd get kicked out. So for those
he's wearing jorts.
For those that are golfing, if your first few holes are somewhere in that first round, Andy, it starts to not go well. You're not hitting well for a few shots for a few holes. How difficult or easy, and I'm sure it's not easy, for a golfer, and every sport's different, is it to get back in line of where you need to be?
Well, I think, that's where the experience comes into play. We talk about this is a golf course, the experience really matters, particularly here. But we all learn how to deal with our problems. If you hit it to the left the first 3 or 4 swings, you're probably swinging at it a little bit too hard or too fast or whatever. You figure out at some point in time what you need to do to fix your game. And that's the most important thing. You see these instructors with the players all the time. In my opinion, the most important thing an instructor can do is get his player to understand his golf swing, his golf game, so he can fix it under pressure. He can figure out a way when, on those days you don't have it, to be able to scrape it around and make 70 or 71 on those bad days. So you just hear, you got to not panic. I mean, I know I've had weeks here where I bogeyed the first hole and hit it down in the creek on the second hole, made an 8, and now you're way behind the 8 ball before you even get started. But you just have to keep playing along. And it's as simple as your coach has told you. It's one play at a time. It's one shot at a time. Take this one, get it done properly, and move on to the next one. That's what you've got to do. It's hard. It takes patience, but that's where the experience really makes a big difference.
Andy North with us on Golic and Wingo from Augusta National as we're talking about the Masters. It is underway. We're all excited. What you just said, when he was in his prime, no one was better at that than Tiger. No one was better at squeezing a 69 out of what should have been a 74. I mean, people forgot in the Masters that he won his first as a pro. He went out in 40 on the front nine, came home in 30, which was ridiculous. Yeah. So to that point, he's going to have to hit a lot of drivers on this course. He's been hitting a lot of irons off tees at other events. The most pressure-packed swing we've seen out of Tiger since he's been playing well this year was on the 16th hole at Bay Hill. He was within 1, par 5, easiest hole on the course, yanks it to hell and back out of bounds. How much pressure is going to be on Tiger's driver specifically to keep him in play this week?
Well, I think if we look at the big picture here, one, to answer your question, he's going to have to drive the ball reasonably well. Particularly on a handful of holes. There's certain driving holes you have to put the ball in the fairway. There's some others you can put it in the rough, and there's a lot of these holes the players actually try to put it so far in the right or left edge of the fairway. You get an angle, sometimes they put it in the rough. That's not that big a deal on holes like that. But I think if you look at Tiger's driving, it's improved every single week. I know he tweaked the shaft in his drive in his 3-wood over the last couple of weeks. He feels a little bit more comfortable. I know at Bay Hill he's having some trouble getting enough spin on his driver, and it was knuckling a little bit, and that may be what happened on that 16th hole where he's trying to hit a cut and he nailed it, but he just pulled it and it didn't cut at all. So I think he's improving. And this is a golf course that he's played it so much and he understands how to play it and he loves the sight lines that if you get up on holes that you've driven the ball well on in the past, you're probably going to figure out some way to do it again. So I'm not as concerned about it as a lot of people.
All right, Andy, we know you have a SportsCenter hit coming up, but I know you also picked Rory McIlroy to win. So why?
Well, I think a couple of things. We saw at Bay Hill, his putter was unbelievable. Probably the best he's putted in a long, long time. And he drives the ball unbelievably well. Carries in the air a long, long ways, and he very easily can hit it from right to left. That really works well here.
No better storyteller for a rain delay in the U.S. Open than Andy North. He's got them all. You're the best, brother.
Thanks,
Good
Andy.
talking to you. We'll talk to you soon,
Thanks,
man.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Absolutely.
Looks nice there today. I saw the ceremonial shots. Look like you could see your breath a little bit.
It's
a little
cold
chilly
this morning,
there.
but it's getting warming.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for the weekend. Does not look. And I know these guys are all used to it, but some are better mutters than others.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
His mutter was a mutter.
Mutter was a mutter.
I will say this, though, because we had the U.S. Open for years, and I was able to go and do that for 6 years. It was great. Whenever there was a rain delay, we'd all sit in the trailer there.
Story time, huh?
Oh, it was the best. And Andy would tell some of the greatest stories. It was just the best. In fact, there was one time that Scott Van Pelt actually tweeted, "It's raining at Augusta, and I don't care because we are having the time of our lives. Keep it raining." It was just the best. And Andy can spin a yarn like nobody else. Let me just tell you that. Some you can say and some you can't.
Well, let's hope he doesn't have to.
Yes, exactly right. Hopefully for the tournament, the rain won't be an issue, but if it is, Andy's the guy to be around. All right, we are with you, Golic and Wingo, ESPN Radio, ESPN News, presented by Progressive Insurance. All phone guests join us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, and let's get you started with what's trending. And he continues to trend in the right way. Shohei Ohtani. He's now got 2 homers in 2 home games. Pretty good. He also had a hit in his first at bat, and he also won his first start on the mound. So the Japanese Babe Ruth is actually playing like he could do both of these things so far, young into the season, but pitch well and hit well.
I think, again, what makes the story better is there was the anticipation when he signed over here, when, again, he could have waited another couple of years and probably got monster money.
Right.
But because of the situation he's in now, he couldn't get that big of money. He had the bad spring, especially pitching a 27 ERA, and didn't knock the cover off the ball at all. And now he is. So it's living up between that and the home runs we're seeing after the Platinum Sombrero by Stanton, the home runs we're seeing by some of the Yankees. Some of those storylines coming to fruition. Again, I'm going to give Zach Cozart a round of applause. He is the one in that Angels game who hit the walk-off home run in the 13th inning to beat the Indians. But Shohei Ohtani, what he's doing is fantastic, and I get it. And he gets his next start on Sunday. Let's see if he can keep it going.
I think you're just upset because he hit it off your guy, Corey Kluber.
No, I know.
Because you're a big Indians fan.
I'm not at all.
You're down on the Shohei
dude
train.
Goes 13 innings and hits a walk-off home run. The least we could do is mention Zach's name. Don't you think?
Say his name. Zach.
Yeah. Zach. Good job, Zach. I got your back.
You know what? But we have an update on Shohei Ohtani and what we're doing for him.
Okay.
I wonder how you're feeling. There's ringing in your bat, and no one to relate to except the babe who can Anaheim believe in. Golic saying
he will give up more home runs than he hits.
There's two-way potential. Who can social phone? I want you to show the way.
You know how things are sometimes are so bad they're good?
That's it, because Jerry's an awful singer.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Wow.
But that was so bad it was good.
It was.
That was so... Jer Bear! You're the man! Jer Bear! There he is!
I went from...
You are the man, dude.
So these are the emotions I went through.
Yeah.
Awful.
Nauseous.
Felt bad for Jerry.
Yeah.
And then chuckled because it was so bad it was good.
It was terrific.
Yeah.
That was good. Well, that's I'm going to make that your ringtone. Just so you know. Make that your ringtone.
Wow.
As we continue. Now, this you're excited about.
Yes, I am.
It's the Frozen Four from the XL Center in St. Paul, Minnesota, marking the 25th consecutive year college hockey's two-day season finale has been aired across the ESPN networks.
Fantastic. The first game at 6 o'clock on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. Minnesota Duluth against one of the number one seeds, Ohio State. The second game at 9:30 Sounds like the recent football matchups, which they'll get back to. Michigan, a number 2 seed against Notre Dame, a number 1 seed. Now, Notre Dame is in the Big Ten now in hockey, the ACC, and all the other sports.
And independent in football.
So this Frozen Four has 3 Big Ten teams in it, Ohio State, Michigan, and Notre Dame. For Michigan, it's a 25th Frozen Four appearance, tied with Boston College for the most all-time, seeking to be the first team to win 10 NCAA Division I ice hockey championships. The other 3 participants have combined for less than half of those. So Michigan, again, Michigan was in the Final Four in the men's. Notre Dame in the Final Four of the women's ended up winning the national championship. So those 2 teams in the recent Final Fours have been showing very well. That one's 9:30. The first game at 6. I believe Bucci and Mary Melrose.
Yeah, I think Steve Levy might
be there
as well.
So covering it. So I'll definitely be tuning into that. No doubt about it.
And Bucci and Barry do such a great job
with
do. That. It's always a lot of fun. And it's nice to see people that have a passion for a certain thing. It doesn't matter whether it's the biggest thing or not. It's what they care about, and they love doing it. And it's great. And they do a great job with it. So we'll see what happens with the Frozen Four. And Quentin Kesnick will also be there. Okay. And we're not talking about this story enough because it's like, he did it last year, so no big deal.
Yeah.
But hold on a minute now. Russell Westbrook needs just 41 rebounds in the Thunder's final 3 games to average a triple-double for the 2nd straight season. He would be the first player ever to average a triple-double twice. And I believe, according to Brett, who hasn't been on the show in about 20 minutes, so we need to get him on, he needs 41 boards in his final 3 games, right? I believe he's had, 40 in his last 3 games? Is that true?
I'll check that real quick for you.
No, that was from Stanzik. Stanzik stealing your thunder, man.
So 41, he's averaging 25.6 points a game, 10.1 assists, and 9.9 rebounds. Do you round up?
We are not. I would, but I don't know if they do.
What are these
9.98?
Yeah, you can't. You can't round up for something like that.
Listen. We talk about a million things, and it was the only thing anybody talked about last year was, hey, he's averaging a triple-double.
Right.
And now it's like, he's doing it
Been
again.
there, done that.
Yeah.
Right?
It's amazing.
I know it is.
All right. There it is. Last 3 games, he's had 40 boards in his last 3 games. So he needs to do one better.
One better than
over
that.
his last 3 games to average a triple-double for the 2nd straight year.
And I hope
it's ridiculous.
And you know what? I hope he goes out of his way to try and get those rebounds because it'd be awesome.
Do you not know Brody? He will do that.
Yeah.
He's going to do that. Brett, you seem like you want to speak.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he clearly figured this out about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
Because from Valentine's Day on, he's averaging over 11 rebounds a game.
So he's all in is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think he kind of looked at it and said, well, maybe Steven Adams will box out a little more for me. I'll go get a couple more on the defensive end. The easy ones, that's what everybody always gives him grief about. But he's bringing them in.
And by the way, in the West again, 4 through 10 is separated by 3 games. Right now, Oklahoma City's sitting in the 6th slot. They are 1.5 games out of the playoffs, and a half a game to be the 4 seed and be home for the first round. So it's crazy what's going on 4 through 10 in that Western Conference. But you're right about Westbrook.
It's amazing
what
right?
he's doing, and LeBron's the best player in the world, but James Harden's winning the MVP, right? I think he's winning the MVP.
Russell won it last year. You know why? Because he averaged a triple-double.
Well, it was the first time since, 62?
Oscar Robertson. Yeah. But still,
now it's the first time since last year.
Yeah, I know, but it is so. It's still a ridiculously good accomplishment. People are like, we're moving on.
He did it last year when he had nobody around him. This year they got Paul George and Carmelo. I know Carmelo has been having a reduced role,
but I think that makes it even more impressive.
I'm with you.
What did we all say? There's only one ball,
yes.
Right? There's only one ball, and he's still getting his stuff.
Yep.
Look, he's not going to win the MVP. And people aren't making a big deal. They should make a bigger deal out of this. This should be a bigger story than, hey, by the way, do you know that cute thing that's happening with Russell Westbrook that's never been done before in the history of the NBA?
Yeah.
Do your thing, Russell.
Whenever your name is associated, never been done before in the particular sport you're playing, that's usually pretty good.
So he's having a good year.
Yeah.
You know who else is having a good couple of weeks?
Who's that?
A good week? Bubble Boy.
Yes, he is.
Except for the fact that he's going to have to sleep in your office.
Yes, he is, because he lost the NCAA tournament we did as a staff here.
But he's made up for it. Bubble Boy, you won your intramural basketball league here at ESPN, right?
We did, me and Brett.
And you just won something else.
I just won the putt off.
Congratulations.
Again, we had the putting with the start of the Masters today. We got a putting green out in the hallway. Everybody on the staff had a chance. You tied with Allie, 8 out of 10, both. What was the tiebreaker?
Beat her by 1.
You did 10 shots again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I made 4.
You made 4. You both went 8 out of 10, and then in the playoff,
how many did Allie make?
You were at 1. She made 3.
She made 3.
She made 3. You made 4. Wow.
Who went first?
I did. I chose it.
So you went first, and you made 4. You had to think it was done.
I thought it was over.
How did Allie? How did you go from 8 to 3?
Pressure, guys. It's all about the
3
pressure.
is more like what my ability is.
So you overshot your ability in the first round, getting 8.
Was anybody screaming at you? It's in the hole. No, no one was doing that.
Wow, good job, Devin. Congrats.
Well,
thank you.
Congratulations on limping to the championship.
If only I could pick my NCAA tournament better.
No, we're happy that you did exactly what you did there.
Hey,
so
and it's another win in your celebration. You did not dislocate your ankle. Hey everyone, Mike Golic here. Support for the Golic Wingo podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Chances are you're confident when it comes to your work, your hobbies, your life. Rocket Mortgage gives you that same level of confidence when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. With Rocket Mortgage, you can apply simply and understand fully so you can mortgage confidently. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Mikes. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
A Sport Clips championship haircut experience makes you feel like your hair has its own walk-up music. Maybe you play sports. Maybe you play sports online. Or maybe your sport is keeping up with your kids. Your hair deserves its own walk-up music, and at Sport Clips, we make it easy. A game-changing cut from a stylist trained for guys while you're surrounded by sports. Hair this good needs no introduction, but you'll want one anyway. So get in line online at sportclips.com/check-in and get your hair in the game.
It is time for another edition of Love It or Shove It, brought to you by Grainger.
Yes!
It's time for another edition of Love It or Shove It.
That didn't go well.
With Golic and Wingo.
In case you, for those watching on
What's
ESPN
up, boys?
News, if you didn't know, we were brought to you by Grainger.
Yes, we are.
Bubba is decked out in a Grainger shirt, Grainger hat. Is that a Grainger towel? What is that?
Yeah, it's
It's a
flag,
band,
like a flag banner.
Okay. Yeah. Why not? So,
you love Grainger.
Grainger
Grainger loves you.
Grainger pens.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a national spokesperson. You kind of just get a lot of free stuff. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but I know it. So, yeah.
I don't think anybody has embraced their
Bubba.
role on this show.
Really
better than
has.
Bubba.
Oh, yeah, they just got great stuff.
You know why I
established 1927, good year.
You know I love more now because he's really taking to jumping on you. He used to jump on me all the time, and because you, Trey, have taken a pretty simple thing, and you either love it or shove it, and you've gone somewhere in between.
There's context to everything.
Yeah, he struggles. He struggles with it for sure.
Yeah, there's context to everything. Are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Get that
Right,
pen
ready?
Okay.
Someone who already has a green jacket will win the Masters. Love it or shove it.
Okay. Previous winners, Tiger, Phil, Spieth, Sergio, Bubba, Adam Scott. So
Among others,
certainly. I am going to shove that. My pick, I have not given my pick. My pick, Trey, is going to be Ricky Fowler.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because of all these young kids, he's the one that hasn't won that
He
major.
has not won
And
his...
in 2014, they combined the total relation to par for all four majors. He was by far the lowest, but he didn't win one of them.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. He's right there, ready to break out. He's going to do it this time. 16-1 odds. He was up from 20-1, 16-1 right now. That is my pick.
All right. I am going to love it because...
Oh, he looked good.
Yeah, I got a Tiger folder, okay? Tiger Woods, yo.
You're picking Tiger?
No, I'm just going to love it because that's a possibility. In my heart, I'll tell you who I'm actually going to pick, but I'm going to love it because I want to see either Tiger Phil or Jordan Spieth win.
Okay.
So that's that. I'm going to love it for that reason.
All right.
You want to know my actual pick, though?
It's going to be someone who hasn't won a green jacket,
Correct.
right?
It's Rory McIlroy. I did that for the segment.
You are unbelievable. You are.
What's next?
One day he'll understand.
What's next?
Russell Westbrook will average a triple-double again this season. Love it or shove it.
Listen, he needs 41 rebounds in 3 games. The previous 3, he's got 40 rebounds. There is no doubt he'll get at least 41 rebounds. And he'll average a triple-double again, which has really gone more unnoticed than last year. I get it to a point. Certainly, it hadn't been done since 62. It's still
ridiculous.
But he has done it with better players, bigger name players, guys who you think he'd have to share the ball more this year. But I absolutely love that and think he will get those 41 rebounds.
I am going to flat out love this. Love it, love it, love it. And we're gonna have a parade for Russell Westbrook when this goes down because it's gone far too unnoticed this year. So we are all on the Russell Westbrook doing it twice again bandwagon. We're going to have Russell Westbrook triple-double day. So there we go. Yes, I love it. Yeah, Jerry can do a song for that. Jerry Bear will get something
as long as he doesn't sing.
Also fair.
All right.
The Raptors should be the favorites to win the Eastern Conference. Love it or shove it?
Shove it! I mean, listen, hey, Brett, I actually want you on right now. How many times has Toronto beaten Cleveland in the playoffs? That's all right. You don't have to tell me. We all know what the answer is, right?
Zero. I'd actually like to hear from Brett.
Exactly. It's 0. So, no. In the play, they should obviously, by record, deserve to be the number 1 seed, but no way would I make them the favorites. That means I would put any kind of money I like on them as the favorites. Not one chance. I shove it.
Big giant shove for me. As Randy Jackson would say, that's a hard no for me, dog.
Good reference.
There you go.
The Patriots will select a quarterback in the first round of this year's NFL draft. Love it or shove it?
I do. We had Damien Woody in here, and remember, they have 2 firsts, 23, 31, and then 2 seconds and a third. Damien thinks they'll take a quarterback with one of those first 4 picks. I do as well. And there is the difference of, again, doing it in the first round, you get that 5th-year option for the team option, so you get that extra year. Second round, it's a 4-year deal. I think they will, but I think it's going to be in the second round, Trey. So I'm going to shove this. I think they take a quarterback, but I think it's in the second round.
I'm going to love it. I think that they secretly like Mason Rudolph.
Yeah. Wouldn't shock me at all.
No. So, I mean, he's the quarterback that I think everybody's sleeping on in this draft. I really like that matchup, and he fits the bill, so I'm going to love it. I think they're going to take one.
All right, this one, we'll start with Brett here. RG3 will never start another game in the NFL. Love it or shove it, Brett?
Shove it. There are too many guys who end up starting for one reason or another, and I think he gets a chance.
Can I ask a question?
Quickly.
Why did you start with Brett? What makes him part of this Golic and Wingo love it or shove it?
Because he wants to be.
I mean, he's Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to love that, the inclusion.
I'm loving it too.
Granger is very inclusive, and we want to include Brett. Want to include Dan.
I'm going to shove Brett.
I'd like
wasn't
to see
the
you
question.
try. He puts the size in seismology.
He does. Will never start another game. Wow. Because if he's a backup in Baltimore, then obviously you would love it because you're one play away, and we see backups in all the time. But will he get that? Who else will they sign for the competition? I'm going to go the other way and say I love it. He's going to have the redemption tour. He's going to be the backup, and because of that, he'll get a chance to start again. So I'll love it.
I will absolutely love it. I think he's absolutely going to start. Maybe even a couple games this year. So yeah, I'm all about it. Definitely going to be on the love it side there.
All right, Brett, the one who got it done. No, I'm just congratulating him. We'll move on.
Okay.
But great job. Mm-hmm. He gets it. Adults should not put ketchup on their hot dogs. Love it or shove it.
Now we need some context.
Yeah, the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council says only those under 18 should put ketchup on their hot dogs.
Is there any sort of context as to why they say that?
No, I shove the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council like crazy.
Which I thought you would never do.
I shove them because putting an age limit on ketchup is ridiculous. And those, I put ketchup on my hot dog. I absolutely put ketchup on my.
I'm not a mustard guy. I put ketchup on my hot dog.
And there's nothing wrong with putting any condiment you want that you like on your hot dog. Zero wrong with it. So I completely shove this. It's ridiculous.
I'm shoving this as far as it can be shoved. Now, Stanzik, you just said something interesting in my ear. What's happening with Junior?
So Junior made a big deal about this on First and Last.
As he should.
Allie has been going back and forth with a member of this so-called council.
There really is a council.
There
this
really is a
just made
council.
up.
This guy, his Twitter handle is something VP Meat.
Is he potted meat?
VP.
Yeah. Okay.
He will be going on with your son.
He will.
In the near future.
I'd love to hear his explanation. How can you tell me an age?
Well, here it is. This is according to an article in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Just as Merlot is a no-no with chicken and using your fingers to eat asparagus spears is perfectly fine, there's a certain etiquette when it comes to hot dogs. So says the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council. It says don't put hot dog toppings between the hot dog and the bun. Dress the dog, not the bread. Do not apply condiments in the following order. Wet condiments like mustard and chili first, followed by chunky condiments. And it says don't use ketchup on the dog unless you're under the age of 18. But it doesn't tell us why.
See, here's my thought process.
I need to know the why. I'm like Josh Rosen. I need to know the why.
Oh, you're millennial.
I'm millennial. I need to know the why, and then I'm good.
Here's my thought process, Hot Dog and Sausage Council. Who the hell are you?
There you go.
To tell me I bought the hot dog. I will dress said hot dog any way I feel. And also, I have had Merlot with chicken before.
Merlot.
Oh, Merlot with chicken before. Okay? I know it's Merlot.
Sometimes I really don't know. Remember your whole thing? I like Pinehurst number 6.
I don't really like wine.
Pinehurst number 6, and you're like, no, that's an actual course.
I didn't even know that.
Didn't even know.
But and even that Merlot with chicken. Who? If I like Merlot and I like chicken and I like the two together, I'll mix them. It's my palate. I shove you, counsel, as far as it can be shoved, and I hope my son destroys you on air. How about that?
I just don't understand why the 18 thing is there. I mean, is it because you can only have so much sugar and there's sugar in gas? I mean, I don't get it.
A lot of things. I mean, why 16 for driving? I was driving all over the place at 14.
Well, that's a disaster waiting to happen.
Never mind.
You know who's for every age?
Who's that? Granger?
Granger. Because they're the ones that get it done?
Except for Cliff.
Why don't
He's been awful.
Why don't you go ahead and read that?
Why has Cliff been awful?
Did you hear him on Le Batard? You hear him today with Stu? He's had a rough few days.
I think Cliff got bagged on the Le Batard.
I do. Okay, what happened today when he just gave up the source?
That was pretty bad.
I think Bubba's just annoying and corny. So
but Cliff, that was bad when you gave up the source. You put Allison in a very, very tough spot on the Le Batard show.
Let me just say sorry, Allison.
Yeah.
It's a little late now.
Oh, wait. It's all good now.
It's a little late.
All taken care of. Everything's fine.
Go ahead and read it.
Said it.
Is that for me?
Just do it. Just read it.
If you're a spokesperson, speak.
Go on.
That was Love It or Shove It, brought to you by Grainger, the products and services you need when you need them. Grainger's got your back to help keep your facility running.
Reading.
Grainger, for the ones who get it done, like Brett and me.
There you go. Nice job. You look good, by the way. You look good in black.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, I'm probably going to wear it every day.
I don't blame you.
Would not surprise me.
It's slimming as slimming can be on you.
That helps. I'll take it.
Any advantage you can
Let's
get.
go.
Coming up,
Whatever
the Masters
works.
is underway. We're going to update our own leaderboard. That's the predictions behind Golic. It's Golic and Wingo and Bubba and Brett and Allison on ESPN Radio and ESPN News. Winning at sports and at sports broadcasting means changing things up.
Just like La Quinta Inns and Suites is changing up their look.
A renovated lobby that's so contemporary it even makes Golic look cool.
Yes, it does. And a totally updated fitness center that even has Wingo feeling like a workout.
I'm ripped. Plus plenty of comfortable spaces to hang out.
Yep, this La Quinta look definitely has a vibe of victory.
So you can just relax, refresh, and get ready for your next big meeting.
Prepare to win at business with La Quinta Inns and Suites.
Book now at LQ.com. All right, we continue here on Golic and Wingo. The Masters is underway. We had the traditional ceremonial opening tee shots by Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player earlier this morning. We have players on the course, and we have many people tied for the lead right now at even par. A lot of them are just on the first and second hole.
Right.
But other people, Wesley Bryan is through 5 holes, and he is at level par. Among those at level par would be Marco Mira through 1 hole, the 1998 Masters champion. We also have Jose Maria Olazabal through 2 holes is at level par. So things are off and running.
And again, today and tomorrow are supposed to be pretty nice, a little chilly at times. And then Saturday and Sunday, you make that cut, get into the weekend, you're in for some tough weather between rain and some wind. That always makes it interesting. That's one of the great reasons. I always imagine the Masters played in fantastic weather. And the Open, the British Open, but the Open
Championship
played in miserable weather, and I love that when they're all wearing the slickers and the wind's blowing, and oh my God, do I love watching
the
that.
last time that ESPN had the Open was in 2015. It was at St. Andrews, and it was so windy that they had to shut down play for a day. And we actually, there's video of this, I can find it. We took a cup and a bottle of water and held the bottle of water like 3 inches over the cup and poured it out. No water went into the cup.
Yeah.
That's how windy it was. Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
I mean, it was just blowing sideways. So you're right. You get that sort of thing more, especially on the links and the seaside courses at the Open Championship. But this time of year in Augusta is always weird because you can get scorching hot days, which it's really warm today, and then those fronts come through, and when those fronts come through, the course changes dramatically, and all those par 5s you try and reach in 2, suddenly you couldn't get there with a driver twice. I mean, if the wind is blowing the wrong way, it's ridiculous. So we've had a bunch of people through asking them who they like at the Masters this year. It started with Jim Boeheim to make our producer Dan Stanzik very happy. He's a big golfer. He went with Bubba Watson, who, of course, has won it twice in 2012 and 2014. And then we had Roy Williams, head coach at North Carolina. He sort of hemmed and hawed between Jordan Spieth and Tiger Woods. He went with Tiger. Mm-hmm. Jay Billis the erudite one, our seasoned veteran and historian of college basketball. Jay Billis went with the number one player in the world, Justin Thomas. Adam Schefter, out of the blue, went with Russell Henley.
How about that?
Which was a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for you. He went with Russell Henley.
What are the odds on him? I'd like to know the odds on Russell Henley.
Do research
Find
things.
the odds. I'm sure we'll find that in the next couple of minutes.
And then we had Marty Smith. He went with Tiger Woods. So we sort of alluded to our picks. Who are you going with?
I'm going with Ricky Fowler. It's a guy who has 4 PGA wins. It seems like he should have more than that.
Yes, he should.
Good iron play so far this year. And I also really believe in the people out in the desert in Vegas and what they do. And according to Westgate, no one has had more money bet on them to win this year's Masters than Ricky Fowler.
Yeah.
So again, his odds were 20-1. They've gone up to 16-1. So that's who I'm going with. He's right there. He's on the verge of that young gun group to finally get one.
Here's the weird thing about Ricky this year, and Brett can look this up too. Brett, you have the odds there? What are they?
For Russell Henley, 150-1.
Yeah, that's crazy.
150-1.
The other thing that's really weird with Ricky Fowler, and this happened last week, he was lights out Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, he was awful. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of been his modus operandi this year. He's been great on Thursday and Friday and has not been able to put it together on the weekend. So if he can do that, that's great. But the trend doesn't seem to be going in that direction.
No.
All right, we got our other people in there. Golic and you're going with Ricky Fowler. Cliff, you're going with Ricky Fowler as well?
1,000%. That's my guy.
All right, he's your guy.
All right.
Jerry and Allie, Jer Bear and Allie are both going with Tiger.
Okay.
All right. Stanzik, who you got?
Justin Rose.
Okay, listen, also been playing very well. Hasn't put it together yet this year, but has been playing very, very well.
Brett,
what do you got?
Alex Noren, because of Gary Player.
Oh, you all in Alex Noren?
I mean, you see that guy in the weight room. He's just
my
so
God.
impressive.
Gary Player couldn't talk about him enough of what Alex does.
Can I tell you something? You watch Alex Noren, he takes a bigger divot than almost anyone. I mean, you want to talk about you have to hit down on the ball? Nobody hits down, traps the ball better than Alex. I mean, he takes a chunk of turf.
Yeah.
Every time.
Caddy loves him.
Oh, yeah.
He's always going to chase down the...
Probably getting greens fees for all the stuff he's got to go.
Who did you pick again?
I am good. Bubble Boy and I are on the same page. And Devin's a winner. I mean, Devin won the putting contest, and he won the intramural championship with his basketball team. So I'm going to go with Rory.
You are? Okay.
I am. I would love to see Tiger. You know that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him in the hunt. I just think realistically, Rory won at Bay Hill, shot a 64 on Sunday to win it. When he's putting, he's one of the best drivers of the ball out there. There's no question about it. When he is putting, he's going to be very hard to beat. And if that putter's warm, I think Rory McIlroy will join the most exclusive fraternity in all of golf.
But we know how it goes. And Michael Collins is going to join us tomorrow after the first round today. We know how it goes, though, man. If Tiger's in this thing, the ratings will be through the... This is always the most watched of the majors anyway.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
If he's within 4 or 5 strokes on Sunday and he's there on the back nine, you watch that needle.
Oh, my God.
Why do you people talk about Tiger?
Yeah.
Because you want us to talk
and
about
you
Tiger.
Watch Tiger.
Because you watch Tiger. That's why. That's why we have...
Oh, he looked good.
Yeah, I got a Tiger folder, okay? And the only way to close the show today is this way.
Cliff, for crying out loud!
See ya.
I just saved hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico. I feel like a whole new person.
Disclaimer, you will not become a whole new person. This is impossible. You might be able to join a gym or diet program, buy a new wardrobe, get hair implants, but your DNA and physical form will remain the same. Geico waives any and all liability if you attempt to become a new person, except a cyborg. If you choose to become a half-human, half-cybernetic organism with lasers for eyes, the Geico legal team would be cool with that, because, quote, laser eyes are pretty sweet. Pew, 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 end quote.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15%.